Due to the fact that we are human, we face many problems that can derail us from reaching our fullest potential in life. Many times, high school students endure problems that cause them to yield to methods that can derail them from reaching their goal. When they begin to yield to these methods, that they feel like they cannot succeed or neither excel in college nor high school. Today, I want to introduce to you the three different causes that lead to high school students dropping out. The first one is failing in school. The second one is not motivated to work hard. And the third one is pregnancy. In my community, I've had the opportunity to establish some very unique relationships with many of the students there. And the one thing that I noticed out of each of them is that each of them wanted to do well. But when they began to face problems, whether it be at home, whether it be in the classroom, they tended to want to give up. So they felt like school wasn't for them, or they couldn't excel in school. Many of them were A students, many of them were A and B students. And then when they began to face those problems, their grades began to slack. And they felt like they just couldn't do well. One of the interesting things about it all is that their lack of focus. When you begin to lose focus in school, when your focus begins to change, your grades fail. But as long as you are focused on the task at hand, as long as you're focused on excelling in the classroom and doing well, you tend to continue on and on. But many of those students begin to face problems. Some of those problems doesn't necessarily have to be at school. So most of those problems can be at home, with lack of support from their mom and their dad. Their mom not having the time to sit down and talk with them. Their mom not having time to show them the way to go and encouraging them and uplift their spirit when they're down. These are the things that the students at my high school, the students in my community face each and every day that leads them to drop out. One of the other things is not motivated to work hard. A lot of times when you begin to face problems, you lose interest. You know, your motivation changes, your self-esteem begins to diminish, and you just want to give up. But the one thing that they must remember is that you have to stay motivated to work hard. Because in the end, that's the only way that will cause you not to want to drop out, even if you're yielding to do it. Another thing that we face in our community with dropping out is that we tend to just don't want to do anything, especially with the girls. Most of them sometimes they become pregnant and they just give up because they think that school is no longer can no longer benefit them in any way. So they just give up and they approach things with a lackadaisical attitude and feel like they just don't want to go on in life. One of the interesting things about it all is that my little sister got pregnant in high school. She dropped out of high school, and the one thing I told her is, what do you want to be? Do you want this to cause you not to accomplish anything in life? Do you want to, for the rest of your life, depend on the government, depend on someone to give you anything? Or do you want to say to yourself today that even though I am pregnant, I can still be something in life? This is only a stepping stone to something great in life. And that's what I am approached with in my community. And each and every day I try to tell the student, you have to give up. And one of the most interesting things about it all is that if you begin to look at the statistics, you may want to change your mind about dropping out, because the question is, do you want to become a statistic? For a moment, can I please direct your attention to the screen here? If you'll notice here, I had a dropout among African Americans in my county. And I decided to do a pie chart so that you can see the percentage of students that actually drop out. The red represents African American dropping out in my community, and the blue represents teenage pregnancy dropout in my community. And you can see it's a very big margin. But over the years, that margin has steadily increased because school has become harder. We become more technological based, and these students tend to give up because school is just too hard. But the one thing that I want each of you to realize, and I want to inform you about today is that don't become one of these people. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what you're faced with, remember that your future depends on what you do today. And what you do today determines how far you go in life. And each of us are equipped with the necessary things needed to excel. Because we don't have to yield to dropping out. We are better. We are much better. Thank you.